Fortnite Battle Royale is easily one of the most popular video games of all time. Over the past year, Fortnite has taken the world completely by storm. People young and old on consoles and PC and even mobile are all playing this game. In June, reportedly as many as 125 million people have played this game. The simple concept of dropping into a map with 99 other players, looting and battling for the victory royale is apparently a very lucrative one. This Battle Royale video game genre spreading into the biggest video games coming out this year, like Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Battlefield 5, and even Red Dead Redemption 2, all reportedly hosting their own Battle Royale game modes. For better or worse, Fortnite has influenced video games forever. In this video, we're going to discuss how and why, and ultimately, whether or not Fortnite is healthy for gaming. All the way back in 2011, Epic Games, developers behind the first 3 Gears of War games, announced Fortnite. A strong argument could be made that they announced the game far too early, considering they only just released the game in 2017, and even at release, no one gave a shit. The game very much slipped under the radar of most gamers who were mainly preoccupied with games like Call of Duty World War II, Star Wars Battlefront 2, and Destiny 2. Fucking hell, that's a lot of 2s. To even acknowledge this obscure-looking cartoony zombie shooter, 5 years behind on the trend, with RPG elements crammed into a game that just obviously should be free to play. Fortnite was just another game, and Epic Games had slipped from everyone's mind after they released Gears of War 3 and cut ties with Microsoft. Fortnite was just about as irrelevant and gimmicky as video games could get. However, while Fortnite's insignificancy was lingering, an indie game had risen to the top to become an absolute behemoth of modern video games, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Released at a time of year that can only be described as drought for video games, PUBG capitalized on the multiplayer concept that previously only the legendary AAA, multi-million-dollar award-winning narrative-driven orgasm of the game, that is Minecraft Hunger Games, had explored: Battle Royale. And for whatever reason, it worked. This previously unknown, no pun intended, developer had managed to create what is arguably the biggest game of 2017. This is a trend increasingly popular nowadays. A game in open beta from an indie dev rising to the top. Regardless of Fortnite, this idea is 100% healthy for games. The notion that a game doesn't need to be this AAA title from Ubisoft or EA to be the next big thing. And as I said, running simultaneously to PUBG, Fortnite released their Save the World mode to a very limited audience. Epic Games needed to think fast to save the game they'd spent 6 years working on. So they took the casual shooter gameplay of Save the World, made this large battle royale map, added in a few microtransactions and made the game free to play. All of a sudden, Fortnite was a battle royale game. Releasing their game on as many consoles as possible, tapping their fingers into mobile and Nintendo Switch as well as PS4, Xbox One and PC, and supporting the game with weekly updates, adding new guns, map updates and skins for children to spend their parents' money on. In August, before Battle Royale's release, the game had 1 million players. By December, they had 30 million, by January they had 45, and in June they had 125 million players. The game's popularity was and still is insane. A few days ago, it was estimated that Epic Games was now worth more than Marvel. One game had made Epic Games more money than 20 blockbuster movies and a decade of comics and games. Almost overnight, Fortnite had become the game that ruled the world. Let's talk about Fortnite for a moment though. What is my opinion of the game? Well, for starters, Epic Games have definitely polished the game into something that is impossible not to respect. A well-oiled machine of constant financial gain for them. But do I like this game? Personally, it's not for me. Don't get me wrong, I can see why people love it. As of August, it's probably the best in the Battle Royale genre, but as someone who prefers narrative-driven, rich open-world games full of content, I'm certainly not the intended audience for a game like this. Which begs the question, who is? Fortnite pioneers that fast-paced gameplay. Other than the stuff the player purchases, there is no consistency between games. Every time you start a game, it's a fresh start. There's no player discrimination, you're not left out if you haven't saved for the best equipment like in many other games. You're all on the same level at the start, and you're all going for the same goal. It's simplistic. It's not complex. It appeals to people, especially younger people, who prefer that fast-paced, exhilarating experience in short and quick bursts. It knows what it wants to do and it does it. Nobody can fault Fortnite for that. While other games know what they want to do and completely fucking fail. Assassin's Creed! Sorry, I don't know what that was. Fortnite has done everything it set out to do to achieve with its Battle Royale mode and more. But the question isn't whether Fortnite is a good Battle Royale game, it's whether or not Battle Royale, and by extension Fortnite, is a good type of game or not. The biggest issue I always see when I see this discussed is that Fortnite isn't different enough from PUBG, or that all Battle Royale games are the same. And they're right, there's only so much you can do to change the Battle Royale formula without making it not Battle Royale. And that's a huge reason why I'm concerned for all these new games coming later this year. The only thing you can change is obviously how the game plays, and maybe the way the player enters the map. After that, every game is still just you against 99 others. It's bad for creativity. Battle Royale is being considered a genre, when in reality it's just a game mode. Take a look at role-playing games as a genre. You've got Witcher, you've got Dark Souls, you've got Fallout. All of these are role-playing games, but at the same time, they're all different. The difference between Battle Royale games ends up being minuscule. A lack of creativity is indisputably bad for video games, and Fortnite being the most popular game on the market encourages it. I hear a lot of people say that Fortnite will be dead in a year, or even in a month, and as much as I fucking hope to God that happens, it won't. For better or worse, we're stuck with Fortnite, and even if it did die, then we'd be stuck with whatever the fuck Battlefield 5 is gonna be.
It's Royale.
The gaming industry, hell, the fucking world is hypnotized by Fortnite. Good games are being overlooked by news outlets and influencers so they can cover whatever new emote Fortnite had added that week. The game is literally inescapable on all corners of the internet to the point of claustrophobia. This inescapability is a goal that any game developer or publisher would kill for, and if that means making lackluster Battle Royale games, every dev under the sun is going to do exactly that. Is it possible to dethrone Fortnite? Minecraft is a game that slipped away around the time the 7th generation rolled into the 8th, but no one can say it was truly dethroned. The game isn't struggling by any means, it sits comfortably above the others. Watching games made by developers 10 times larger struggle to scramble to the top. The game's scope is growing every day. One week it has vehicles and the next it has a sandbox game mode. Fortnite is like a plague. The question is, will there be a cure, or will another virus take over the world? In October and November, on the dates where game developers aren't shitting themselves as they skit around Red Dead Redemption 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 and Battlefield 5 will be released. These games are seasoned rivals. They know each other well, but this year they're taking on a new foe. You guessed it, Fortnite. As much as Epic Games are rolling in money now, during development of the Battle Royale mode and Fortnite itself, they didn't have nearly as much money as EA or Activision currently have to pour into their games. And while Battle Royale is certainly not my type of genre, I'm interested to see what a larger team can do when they go into a game with the intention of having a Battle Royale mode. And maybe, just maybe, one of the behemoths will eat Fortnite up. But I fucking doubt it. Does Fortnite deserve a success that it has? Absolutely not. Does it deserve some success? By all means. The game, and especially its own community, have infected the gaming industry and even aspects of real life too. I can't walk 5 minutes without seeing some autistic 9-year-old trying to imitate one of the cringy emotes. But the fact remains that underneath all that is possibly the best Battle Royale game available right now, and it's free to play while simultaneously not being paid to win. You can't fault them for doing that, and you can't fault them for their microtransactions. The game isn't successful because the game is good or amazing, the game is successful because the higher ups at Epic Games are very clever people who know what they're doing when they decided to release a free-to-play Battle Royale mode. When a game gets as big as Fortnite, it's going to influence the industry quite a bit. Developers trying to copy successful games rarely works. They try too hard and either end up with a carbon copy of the game they were inspired by, or the genre just doesn't fit with the game at all and it fucking fails. At this point, the gaming industry is so fucking tired and done with everything that at least Fortnite breathes some life into it with casual audiences. But is Fortnite healthy for gaming? No, not at all. It discourages creativity and it encourages microtransactions. Not that Fortnite overdoes it with microtransactions, but you know that some other publisher will. It's easy to lose track of the bigger picture when it comes to a game like Fortnite. We need to remember to occasionally step back, look, and think, is this worth my time? Games aren't nearly balanced enough anymore, review scores are completely opposed by the sales figures, and good sales figures don't mean good games. Fortnite has used things like the free-to-pay business model and industry trends to make their games so successful, and it's for that reason that Fortnite is, without a doubt, unhealthy for gaming. Thank you guys for watching until the end. If you did enjoy this video and you want to see more analysis videos like it, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment, let me know what you think about Fortnite and the Battle Royale trend. I'm open to hearing others' opinions. Drop a like, it really does help my channel out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.